What's up guys, Shane here, Fugatech 3D Printing. Today we're taking a look at silk filament from Beaver 3D. Welcome back. Okay, like I said, so this is silk filament from Beaver 3D. I received a sample of their filament in one of the MakerBoxes a while ago, and this has been in the queue for quite a while, just haven't got to it yet. And I'm excited for this, but taking a look at the box, it is super duper simple. That might have been loud. They have a sticker here on the side that says it is filament silk-like, 1.75 millimeters. It is color red, net weight 1 kilogram, print temperature is 190 to 210. So this is just like a PLA print. It printed really well. I think, what did I have? I think green is what came in that box. That might have been the October, November MakerBox. But looking into here, here it is. And again, their box is super duper simple and made in China. That's where it's from. Okay, here's the spool. A nice big wide spool, which makes it much thinner. You have short fat spools. You've got some of these which are a little bit wider, but they're thinner. So it really depends on the company. It's a smooth spool. There's nothing on it. Desk impact is in there, as you can see. And here is the same sticker that is on the side of the box. So that's quite common with a lot of companies. You can hear it. Because the filament is so slick, it can easily move across each other, which is kind of funny. It is a snap spool design, so two halves clip together, and it wiggles just a little bit. I would probably say it's maybe not even maybe about a millimeter movement, just a wee little bit. But the wind is pretty nice, you can see that. A little bit of a scent to it, an odor, and the filament is super duper slick. So the way that it looks, it doesn't look like it would be like amazingly smooth. It almost seems like you would feel like fibers to it, but you don't. Again, I really liked how this printed in the MakerBox, which is why I reached out to them and saying, hey guys, I would love to print some more stuff. So obviously we're gonna print an awesome vase with this, a couple other things, but let's switch some time lapses, get this going, and we'll talk about it when it's done. Alright, so I had some fun time lapses with this. I had some good prints, I had some not so good prints, mainly because I'm an idiot. So let's dive into some of these. We'll discuss what went wrong, what went right, and go from there. Alright, as always, let's start with my Maker coin, and this came out beautifully. Looking at the sides, that awesome sheen that you get with this kind of filament is just great. The bottom layers, the bridging was okay across the support structures. I am using the dense layers on top of the support. Here again, it had the usual symptoms of PLA when it does this extreme angle here. You can see how far up that is. It does have a little bit of issues, but top layer wise, great print. I'm really happy with the way this came out. This was really nice. Alright, now switching gears to a vase mode. Now I will say this is where this pearlescent kind of silky filament really shines, is when you do things in vase mode. Every retraction that you do is going to show up in a print with this kind of filament. It's inevitable, in my opinion. I think it is. Some people might not think that, but I think it is. It's going to happen to everyone when you see that. But when you look at a vase mode print like this, it is just flawless. Awesome first layer. I think there was 4 or 5 first layers in this one. You know, it's strong. For being a PLA, there's some flex to it, not as much as you'd get like a PET G, which I've printed this in before. But I mean, this just came out. I mean, look at these. The layers are just beautiful. If your printer's dialed in and you're doing a nice vase mode, it just really shines. Literally, look at that nice sheen. So this is actually going to be a candy dish for work that I've wanted to have, and I needed one, so I printed this. Now here's another vase, and this one did not turn out the way I was hoping it would. I think I was going a bit too fast. So looking down from the top, you can see where the issues were on these wide curves here. This wide curve, it's a decent overhang there, and it's a pretty wide open curve. I was printing this at 70 millimeters a second, and it had the same settings, so it's got the 4 bottom layers, which came out nice. It cracked a little bit when I was pulling it off. It was on there pretty tight on the build tack. All these bottom layers came out great, but then up here, I was just going too fast around these big bends, and it deformed, and that is the print's fault. I should have slowed it down much more, and it happened right here at the top as well. It was going too fast for the filament. It was not feeding enough. So it was almost basically under extrusion, and it was just missing. But still, again, a vase mode, it came out, you know, well. I just need to slow it down to do this kind of print that's this intricate, because you can see here, it really spins around all those corners. Now look at another print that works. Hey, look, we've got a little benchy. Nope. That is a huge benchy. This is a 300% model of benchy, and it could not have come out better. I mean, nearly perfect, but you can see here, see those little blips? You can't feel them, but you can see them. That is the layer change. That's going to happen in this kind of filament. You're going to see those layer changes everywhere that they're at. There's nothing you can do about it. But look at the back. Hashtag 3D benchy. So nice. I mean, I've never seen that before. I've never printed this big. Super nice. Underneath, ct3d.xyz. Perfectly came out. Absolutely perfect. The little port back here, nice and round. This little doohickey, the block. Look at the top layers here. Totally filled in everywhere. On top here, you can see the layer changes there. The chimney, nice on there. Going across. Almost no droop in there whatsoever. Tiny little bit on here as well. But I did notice something, which I think it's my printer. There's this ghosting that goes across the print, going this way. I've never seen that before. I saw it in someone's video. They were talking about like this ghosting, but that's crazy right there. I've never seen that before. If you know what that is or how to solve that, let me know. But again, this is a beautiful benchy. I could not be any happier. I think Daniel would be proud of this print. Okay, here we have another huge vase. So here's the little vase, same model, here's the big one. I actually printed the big one first, and then I printed the small one because this one did not come out very well at all. Again, way too fast, way too big. I don't know if the model can't handle being printed at max size for the FT5, or if I'm just printing it way too fast for this filament for this. I mean, I've gotten such amazing results with this. I'm gonna blame this on my settings. It just didn't work out as nicely as I wanted it to. But it was a very good test. You know, I did have some splitting down here as well. Again, way too fast. None of these worked out. And this model is just not meant to be printed this big. I wish it was, but it wasn't. That's okay. Finally, we have a failed print slash I stopped print. Now, the issue with this is actually going to be a great big garbage can. Now, you saw how big Benchy was. Benchy easily fits inside of there. And if you look at my hand, you know, it's much larger than the palm of my hand, which is great stuff. I mean, this was going to be a huge garbage can. I paused it because I had to record the other night, and if you guys saw that video, that was in my vlog, I had to pause it. When I resumed it, the filament did not want to help out. So I actually did the change filament, and what happened is the Titan backed out the filament so fast it snapped in the hot end. I actually had to disassemble my hot end to get it out. And that was not very cool. So it ended up failing slash I stopped it. But it was going to be really nice. I mean, amazing bottom layer. Little blips here and there, but nothing to write home about. This actually is from me trying to get it out. Again, it pushed in there. Even though this is 5 bottom layers, just the 5 bottom layers alone took 4 hours. You know, this is going to be a 50-some hour print. But I am happy with how it came out. But I want to find, there they are. So here are the layer changes that I was talking to you guys about that you're going to see in this filament. Right there. And right there's a bunch. Now again, I can't feel a single one of those. It looks like I should be able to, but I can't feel them. That is just the way that the world is when you deal with this kind of pearlescent, silky filament. It's sad, but it's just an after effect of it. Alright, so you guys saw the time lapses, you saw my results here, mixed results, and what it comes down to is you have to print this filament slower. I clearly was printing far too fast in order to make something like this work, and even to make this one work because it was so intricate. This one was fine. This one came out fine. This was also printed at 70 millimeters a second, but there's only 5 things to twist, and they twist open. These twist almost the same diameter. You know, obviously it's twisting up and out, but the problem is that the actual shape of each of these points doesn't really change. It's still a very sharp change. This goes almost to a, you know, obviously this crazy looking circle, but it goes from this to a circle. So it's expanding out. The turns get easier and easier and easier as it goes on. And Simplify 3D handled that very well. It did not handle these other two vases well at all. Again, that's a shame, but I am completely blaming that on my settings because everything else just came out beautifully. Again, I've never had a benchy come out this nice. I posted this in the Fugatech FT5 group and on my Instagram, and I got just floored with comments about how awesome this looks. And I will say, I think this looks amazing. I am super pumped about this. I can't believe how well it came out. It really shows that if you can dial in your printer and you can dial in your settings on a filament, you can do this. And it's easy to dial in your settings when you have an entire spool of filament to work with. Dialing in things like MakerBox samples or other samples you get from a company are going to be really tough because you only have so much filament to work with. When you have a whole spool, you can waste 50 meters and not blink an eye because you have it. There's plenty left to do whatever you need to do to print, and you will get excellent results out of the rest of your spool if you take the time to calibrate it. And I say take your time to calibrate it. I already knew what my settings were going to be because back in, I don't know, October, November, I did receive a piece of the Beaver silk filament in green in a MakerBox. And that turned out great. I got great results with it. I ended up using that same profile for the silk filament in order to print this out. And again, great results, but I did up my speed because I'm printing faster now than I was 6 months ago, just due to my experience. And the more I learn, the better I can print, the more I try to push my printers to go to their max potential. And I mean, 70 is not the max FT5 can do. I've printed up to 100 PLA with standard PLA, not anything special like this. But again, this just turned out really well. Great layered adhesion on everything except for these two models. Again, I blame that to the print speed because this was printed at 60. And because it was so intricate, Simplify 3D really dialed down the settings on this. And this one was all printed at 70. Again, an easier thing to print. So be careful of your settings when you print this out. Do some tests. But also, if you're going to do something big with a single perimeter, slow it down quite a bit. That's a wrap, guys. Again, I think this is a great filament. If this is something you're looking for, this kind of filament, the green that I had in the MakerBox was an amazing color. I didn't want green again. I want to try something else. The red's really nice. Printing out like Christmas ornaments in this would be super cool, I think, for your family and friends to do kind of the little globes, or maybe that Russian twist globe thing that I had printed for the Christmas special. Something like that in this filament would be really nice, I think. Or doing a sign, anything like that. You know, let your imagination go wild. Look to things that you think would make someone happy. Bet you they would. A candy dish, you know, why not? If you guys want to purchase filament, there's going to be a link down to Beaver's website down below. It's not an affiliate link. I'm getting nothing for doing this filament review. All they did was send me the filament and said, hey, let us know what you guys think. And this is what I think. It's good stuff. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this video, please give it a like. If you didn't, hit that dislike button. Let me know what I can do better down below in the comments. If you want to support the channel, lots of ways to do it. Biggest way, subscribe down below. Hit the little bell icon. That way you'll know anytime I post new content. If you want to help out me with your hard-earned money, there's a Patreon link down below. Thank you to all my Patreons that I have out there so far, because you guys are awesome. You help me out, and I can appreciate that so much. If you guys want to join that awesome team, hit the link down below. Donate me $1 more, and I greatly appreciate it, and I thank you so much for your patronage. If you want to help me out without spending your money, down below there's a bunch of affiliate links. Go ahead, do some shopping with those. All that gets me a little slice of the pie, and it comes back and helps me out buy things for the channel. I thank you guys again for watching, and as always, happy printing.